Okay, we're gonna try something a little different today. So, a lot of people have gone through near-death experiences, and I'm seeing more and more reels. I think that algorithm and stuff, when you get into certain things or you do research, it just starts pulling up random stuff. So, I personally have been through a lot of near-death experiences, like from jumping hay bales and landing on concrete to being bucked off horses, having rain snapped, bike accidents, automobile accidents. Yeah, very, very large amount of near-death experiences where I'm surprised I'm even here. But what I'm going to do is I have Andy who's going to come on here, and he's going to tell one of his situations that he was in when it came to his near-death experience and almost like a glitch in the Matrix, if you know what I mean. And I think he just pulled in not too long ago, so I'll give it a couple minutes. Even if I have to pause this video and then restart it in a minute, I'll do so. So I'm gonna kind of give him like an interview and have him sit down and explain his crazy story that he went through for you guys, because each of you have probably had your own experiences that you couldn't possibly explain to another person how you're still physically here in this reality, okay? So just give me a moment. Yeah, so he just pulled in the driveway, and we're going to sit down and I'm going to have him explain to me what he explained to me earlier. I'm sure most of you have had your near-death experiences. Now, whether you talk about it or whether you've just kept it quiet, there was one video I watched of a woman that she kept it quiet for 20 years because she didn't think anybody would fucking believe her. It was so uh, crazy that she was fearful of people judging her. Now, I personally don't give a flying fuck about what other people think when it comes to the truth. If you've experienced something yourself and you want to, if you're in the Ontario area, and you would like to contact me and you would like to share your story, we can set that up for you and definitely go ahead and do that. And you have a moment, your own moment. If you don't have your own platform, you are more than welcome to use my platform to share your experience with other people of what you've went through, of how maybe there was a glitch or maybe there was something that happened in your life that you have no idea how you survived it, but you're still here. So whether it be near-death experiences or just shifting of timelines or something that's happened that's unexplainable. I personally have had so many things happen, and I don't understand how I'm still here or whether or not I've just constantly had a death and a rebirth and shifted timelines to the place that I'm here now at, that you guys are watching me from. I want to thank all my subscribers and everybody that has been loyal, everybody that has commented and shared their piece, said kind, loving things, nice things, uplifting things. I send it right back to you, all that love and support. It really truly helps this channel, and it is still a baby. The channel's still new. It's only like maybe 3 years into it, so I have no specific expectations of where we go with this. All I know is I really am grateful for everybody that has come across here, and what I want to do is something a little different. Yes, I do my tarot. Yes, I share my personal experiences when it comes to my own growth, my own journey, and the things that I've been through, to try to give you guys a heads up, especially if nobody's told you anything and you're still kind of in the dark, and maybe the people that you've been around haven't really shared what they have learned with you, so that you can grow, so that you can heal and mature emotionally and evolve, so to speak. Okay, so gonna wait. He's just talking with his friend right now, and I don't want to distract him. And then he's more than willing to come on here. He's going to show his face. He's going to be talking to you guys about his experience and what he went through, because I think it's really important that other people do that as well. And this world that we're living in, it really does sometimes defeat all odds when it comes to the explanation scientifically of certain things that happen with us, and try to get more on that spiritual side of it to have people more aware of what's going on. And the reality is that a lot of people have experienced a lot of things that are unexplainable, and I'm going to definitely enjoy doing this, and hopefully other people are going to be wanting to do this as well, because you're more than welcome to. You have all right to share your truth about the experiences that you've been through, and I'm definitely more than willing to share my platform so that you could do so, okay? Okay, so the magic that's happening right now. Okay, so I'm just going to have you sit down here, and then, or you could stand, it doesn't matter, and then I'm gonna have you explain to me what you were talking about earlier, that crazy situation that you were in. All right, and I'm gonna turn the video to you. I'm gonna light a cigarette, and you can light one too. Take your time, be as thorough as possible, all the details that you can fucking remember.
Tell it the way you tell it.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn it to you.
You're gonna hold it and look at me with it?
Basically, yeah. So if you can see yourself on there, just say yeah.
I can see myself. Hi.
You could wave to all the subscribers and viewers that you're going to be talking to. Maybe give them a rundown on the beginning of the situation.
The beginning of the situation?
I'll take a cigarette too, if you don't mind. Thank you very much.
Well, my buddy Dave and I, we were sitting at the shop. You can't see me. There you go. And we decided to go for a little ride. He was up from Florida. He's actually a famous football player here in Canada. And we were sitting at an intersection on Dalhousie and Murray Street in Brantford. And Dalhousie is a one-way street, so the traffic was coming from this direction, and we were sitting there going through this way. And there was a police van full of cops sitting in the intersection, and two other cruisers sitting there as well, watching us. And him and I, we were sitting there at a red light, and we were joking around, and we were watching this guy in his gown doing his best impersonation of the Titanic off his balcony, and we were kind of having a little bit of a chuckle. And Dave had his foot on the brake, never took his foot off the brake of the car. We were in a 300, and all of a sudden, with no acceleration or no anything like that at all, the car just went forward. There was no skid marks. We didn't get hit from behind or anything. The car just went forward. His foot did not leave the brake at all. And like I said, there was like 13 cops on scene, and we T-boned a blue little hatchback car that came out of absolutely nowhere. And even when the police came out, because when it happened, Dave was all freaked out, and I got out of the car and kind of took over the scene. And the police were asking me what happened, and I looked at them and I was like, well, okay, for starters, where did that blue car come from? And not a single police officer on scene could explain where that car came from. And it just appeared in front of us, and we T-boned it. And like I said, we weren't hit from behind. His foot never left the brake of the car at all. And the police couldn't even explain what happened, because none of them even could say where the car came from either. So I kind of chalked it up that we went through like a glitch in the Matrix, if you want to say it, because that's what everybody likes to say.
How many years ago did this happen?
It happened, I'd say, about maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe tops.
Did you talk to anybody when you went through this, or was it just you, the cops, and
it was
your
just
buddy?
me, the police officers, and Dave, and that was it.
You never really shared this with anybody?
No, not really. Not really at all. It kind of freaked me out. I shared it with a couple friends of mine, but even they thought I was kind of crazy, and they were like, Andy, the car had to come from somewhere.
And the other couple in the car?
Or the people that were in the blue hatchback, they were Oriental couple.
Yeah.
And they were kind of freaked out too, because all they were trying to do was go home, and they couldn't explain how they got there either. But everybody was fine. Nobody was hurt. It was a pregnant woman and her husband, and we hit them on the driver's side of the car, but everybody was fine, and there was no charges laid. It was kind of funny. There was no fines laid.
You said this happened in Florida?
No, he was here from Florida. It happened in Brantford on Murray Street and Dalhousie.
Nice.
The intersection, just one, not even a full block away from my tattoo shop at the time.
Yeah.
And he came up from Florida to see me to get his tattoos done. So he was more worried about us getting shot because I got out of the car.
Oh,
With
yeah,
being
tell me
from
about that.
Florida, because the police in Florida are pretty aggressive. and he didn't want me to get out of the car, and I was like, no, man, I need to go look after this stuff. So
Yeah.
I got out and looked after it, and then I told the police that his car is running and we're going back to the shop, and if you need to talk to us, you can just come over to the shop. So they did.
Yeah.
And
Did
they
they write a
couldn't
report?
explain. No, there really wasn't a report written up either. It was kind of weird, the whole situation.
Normally they do for
Because
car accidents, yeah.
yeah, they couldn't explain, and nobody knew where the blue hatchback came from. Nobody. And there was 13 cops on the scene. They were sitting in the intersection waiting for the light to change, and they couldn't explain where the blue car came from either, and neither could we.
How long did it take you to kind of get out of that shock? Or you were pretty good. Your buddy was still a little shook
Well,
up.
Dave was really shook up about it because dealing with the police and him being up here from Florida, a lot of people are scared of police in Florida. So
Yeah.
he was more shook up about that, and the fact that his foot never left the brake of the car, that really messed him up. He didn't know what happened. So I just kind of said to him, we just went through a glitch in the matrix, man. And
No damage to the back of the vehicle, nothing.
there was no nothing. We weren't hit. There was nobody else around us at all. The car just went forward. There was no acceleration. There was no anything. It was just, we were sitting at the light. I turned my head. I looked at him. We were laughing. Boom. Next thing you know, we hit the car in front of it. We T-boned the blue hatchback in front of us. Well, it just came out of absolutely nowhere. The lights didn't even change yet. The lights were still red.
Thank you very much for sharing this. Hopefully, there's other people out there that if they want to share their story, they're more than welcome to use this platform. I have no problem with it. If you haven't talked to anybody, you're not crazy.
Nope.
Shit like this happens all the time, and for them not to even report it is insane, because any accidents, especially if cops are on scene, are supposed to report it legally. And the fact that they didn't, I think they were a little bewildered as to what the fuck
Well,
happened.
they were all kind of shook up too because they couldn't understand why it just, and where the blue car come from. Nobody knew where the blue car came from. It was in front of us and we hit it.
All right, well, thank you so much. And you guys, if you like this video, share, subscribe, you're more than welcome to. And if you have a comment of your own and you don't want to set up an appointment or anything like that to share your story, you can definitely put in the comments below, okay?
Peace and love to everybody. See you later.